بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على المبعوث رحمة للعالمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We're still studying the قاعدة الفقهية, the fiqhi rule that deals with certainty is not removed by doubt, and the sub-rules that come under it. And we took our time studying one of these sub-rules, and that is بقاء ما كان على ما كان, that things remain as they were unless there is something that changes it, and this thing that changes it is the one we follow. But unless it is proven, unless it is certain, then we do not pay any attention to it. Now we move on to the rest of the sub-rules. For example, al-aslu bara'atu dhimma. And this translates to the default is acquittance from liability or responsibility. What does that mean? I come to you and accuse you of stealing something. Now, anyone can do this, accusing others. And if we open the door for such accusations, then the courts would be always full. But Islam makes it easy. The default is the acquittance of liability or responsibility. This is a default. I have nothing to do with you. You say that I stole something. You say that I killed someone. You say I did something wrong. The default is that I'm acquitted. I have nothing on me. So you have to prove so that you can get this certainty out. But to bring the doubt that I'm liable to something or I am responsible for something without evidence, this is not applicable in Islam. So if someone says and accuses another of taking his belongings, he has to prove it. And this is done in a court of law. And this is the usual. Whoever accuses someone, he is required to bring evidence. If he doesn't have evidence, then this goes to the defendant and he has to swear. So I accuse you. You took my car. Bring the evidence. The evidence is Ahmad and Muhammad, they witnessed that. Okay, witnesses of two is sufficient. Bring the car back to him. I don't have witnesses, but I have a written statement from you saying that I'm taking your car. Okay, this is evidence. I don't have witnesses. I don't have evidence at all. But wallahi, he took my car. Well, I cannot accuse him because you swear. If you give me the right to take what you have by swearing, I will start to swear from here till tomorrow. He took my car. Wallahi, he took my car. He took my house. He took my $1 million. He took, and I swear, this is not logical. I'm the one who's accusing. So I have to prove the evidence. If there is no evidence, he has to defend himself by swearing. So the judge goes to him and says, swear you did not take his car. And he says, wallahi, I did not take his car. Khalas, case is over. So this rule is very important when it comes to defending someone, defending yourself. The teacher says, why did you take Abdullah's pen? I didn't take his pen. Yes, you did. You cannot say, yes, you did. Either you have evidence or I'm acquitted. And this is the norm in Islam, that everyone who's accused, he's innocent until proven guilty. Not the other way around. He's guilty until proven innocent. No, by default, he is innocent until proven guilty. The third sub-rule is al-aslu fil umuri al-aridah al-adam. The default in incidental matters is assuming their absence. What does that mean? Something that is incidental, something that came up. Well, it should not have come up. And the default is that it does not exist. Example, I go and buy a car. I took the car from the showroom. It was fine. It looked good. And I went to the house. In my home, I discovered that there is something wrong with it. There's a scratch in the paint. There is something wrong with the engine. So I take it back to the car showroom. And I say, give me back my money. The car is not good. Now, when we go to the court of law, I am supposed to bring the evidence, prove it, because by default, this is incidental. This came up. When I took the car, it had nothing on it. I had no doubts in it. Now I am accusing the salesman of selling me something that has a defect in it. So the judge says, prove it. I said, no, it came up. It's incidental. I said, no. The judge says, if it came up and incidental, then the man sold you the car in perfect shape. So either you prove it or we take his word for it, because he's the one who sold it. And he said, I sold it in a good shape. Nothing was wrong with it. Of course, there is difference between applying the rule because of a court of law, because there is a difference or dispute between two, and between treating this as something between you and Allah. Now, the judge said that the showroom has no fault. But if the salesman knows that it was not in a good condition and there was a defect in it, between him and Allah, he's punishable. He's lying and he will be punished for that. But in normal day-to-day work, the judge only judges by what he sees, not by what is in the man's heart. I don't know this and I cannot find a solution to it, and this is between him and Allah Azza wa Jal. The fourth rule states that al-asl idafatul hadith ila aqrabi awqatih. The default is to relate an incident to its closest times. One or two examples. A woman who's pregnant and another woman hits her on the stomach, and a while afterwards she miscarriages. What do we attribute this to? One would say, this is because of something she ate 5 days ago. And one says, maybe because she fell from the stairs 2 weeks ago. What is the closest? The closest is that woman hitting her in the stomach. So we attribute it. This is the default. We don't know the unseen. This is what we know. She hit her on the stomach and she had a miscarriage. Then it is the closest thing to happen. Likewise, a man wakes up, he prays Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib time, he discovers semen in his underwear. Now this is related to nocturnal emission. This is something that definitely happened during his sleep. But what sleep? Last week? 3 days ago? 2 days ago? No. When was the last time he slept? Afternoon? No, he didn't take a nap in the afternoon. It was in the morning, at nighttime. And this means that this is the closest we attribute it. The default is that it is related to the closest. So he has to pray Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, and Maghrib. Repeat your prayer because it is invalid. You are in the state of great sexual impurity. Now, the fifth rule is al-aslu fil ashya al-ibaha. The default in matters is its permissibility. Now, anything that comes to you, don't hesitate. Say, it is permissible. Someone asks you, what's the ruling on driving a motorcycle? It's halal, permissible. What's the ruling on sleeping on your back? There isn't anything to prevent me from saying it is halal. What's the ruling on wearing a watch or shoes or sandals or this or that? Everything is permissible. And this helps you when you come and find someone telling you, what's the ruling on eating horse meat? What's the ruling on it? Halal. Why? Because I don't have any other reason to think so. What's the ruling on eating giraffe? It's halal. Was it at the time of the Prophet ﷺ? No. So how do you say it's halal? Because we know that Allah says, eat from whatever is on earth. So if it is not pork, It's haram if it's pork. If someone says, okay, what's the ruling on eating cats? Oh, cats are very nice animals. It's haram. No, you don't have halal haram because of your emotions. Because you love cats, you make it haram. What's the ruling on eating cats? It's haram. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ forbade us from eating anything that has teeth that eats. So lions, cats, dogs, anything that eats meat from the wild animals is haram. With the exception of a hyena. You know hyena? This is the exception. Other than that, it's all haram. So when someone tells me what's the ruling on eating a giraffe, giraffe is a wild animal. If you hunt it and it dies, saying Bismillah, halal. If you catch it alive, you have to slaughter it. It's halal. You say Bismillah. What's the ruling on eating this or that? It takes the same ruling once you know that the default in matters is its permissibility. This is the default. Unless there is something that shows you otherwise. Likewise in transactions. All transactions are halal. Selling, buying, leasing. Unless there is something telling you that, no, this is riba. No, this is cheating. No, this is transgression. Other than that, it is all halal. We have a short break. Stay tuned, and inshallah, we'll be right back.
A man, a mission, a world-renowned orator on Islam and comparative religion. He dedicated more than 5 decades of his life for dawah. Ahmad Deedat.
We Muslims believe that Jesus was the Christ.
This book is an eternal book of guidance for you and for me, for the whole of mankind. It's a solution to the problems of mankind.
The miracle is when you expect a man to be dead and he's alive. That's a miracle.
Man with a Mission, every Monday to Thursday at 5:30 p.m. and repeat telecast at 11:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
Where truth is hidden and misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch Truth Prevail and Lies Perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik every Saturday to Thursday at 9 p.m. and repeat telecast at 7:30 a.m. Saudi Arabia on Peace TV.
The more you hear about it, the more you desire to prepare for it. Life after death. Journey of the soul. The day of resurrection. The torment of the hellfire. The reward of paradise. Stay tuned for a life-changing, heart-softening, spiritually uplifting series about the hereafter exclusively on Peace TV.
Know the vivid descriptions of paradise and hellfire from the Quran and authentic ahadith, and acquire life-changing habits to be successful in the hereafter. Next on Peace TV.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. So, these are some of the sub-rules of the second major rule, which is certainty is not removed by doubt. We have a number of other rules, but before we continue, do we have any questions? Yes, Farah.
Sheikh, as you said that when someone accuses someone else of something wrong like robbery, etc., so he has to get two witnesses. But if the case is so that if the person gets two witnesses and the accused is taking an oath that, oh, by Allah, I've not done it, so then what's the case for that? And secondly, that if the person is taking an oath, so does he have to say that I swear by Allah, and if I have done it, then may Allah's curse be upon me? Is that necessary to say that?
Okay, the first question is that if the person accusing brought the evidence, whether it's a written statement or two witnesses, and the defendant wants to swear, I say, no, shut up. If you swear from here till Fajr, I'm not going to believe you. Because this does not have any value in the presence of evidences. Any murderer who kills someone and 10 people saw him kill that person, he says, Wallahi, I didn't kill. Do we believe him? Definitely not. So it is, as the Prophet said it, alayhi salatu wasalam, evidence is required on the person accusing, and the yameen is required from the person who's denying in the absence of evidence. But if there is evidence, then his yameen has no value at all. Okay?
For example, if the two witnesses, if they've already pre-planned or something, like with the person who's accusing the third person, that you tell lies or something like that, and the judge is unaware of it, like he sees that these people are, so then, and if the person is innocent, so in that case, what would be the...
Okay, this is a very hypothetical situation in the sense that we as Muslims judge by what we see. So if I'm the judge and someone brings me two witnesses that this person did a crime, and he swears that he did not do the crime, so you're telling me, these two are collaborating and they're liars. Okay, how do I know that he's not lying and swearing by Allah and saying falsehood? So the judge does not go inside people's chests and say, yes, he's lying, you're saying the truth. He applies the evidences, and that is why even the Prophet ﷺ, he said, "O people, you come to me in dispute over a piece of land. And each one of you has a good way of presenting his case, but one is better than the other. So I listen and I judge to the one whom I think that has the right to his side, but he's lying. And I judge to what I see. But Allah Azza wa Jal would make whatever he takes unlawfully in hellfire on his back." So the judge only judges in accordance to the evidence, not to maybe he's doing this, maybe he's lying, maybe they're collaborating. Khalas, we have someone, two witnesses, he's the one who stole the money. That's enough. As long as I don't have, as a judge, any reason to believe that they're lying. If two witnesses come and say, yes, this individual stole the watch, and I have 20 witnesses saying that he, at the time of the event or of the time of the crime, he was in Paris. How do you want me to believe these two? Definitely there is something wrong. But in normal conditions, no. If they said that he did something, then I have to believe them. Your second question was?
If the accused takes an oath on Allah, so is it necessary to say that may Allah's curse be upon me if I'm...
Okay. As for your second question, does he have to make an oath and swear by Allah and say that may Allah curse me or be angry with me? No, this is only in mula'ana, between a man accusing his wife of adultery. But in normal cases, it's sufficient to say that by Allah, I did not do this, or by Allah, I gave it back to him, and that is sufficient, insha'Allah. Yes, sir.
Sheikh, my question is not directly related to this sub-unit, but my question is related to knowledge in general. That when we are learning knowledge and we are acquiring half of it, we develop some kind, not the people sitting here, but it's a general thing that we develop an attitude kind of thing that I have these 3 to 4 rules with me and I can apply it on anyone, anywhere, that you shut up, I have these 3 rules with me. So, how to develop that humility in us and at the same time not play around with the Sharia. Sometimes in just joking and all, people fit some Quranic references in other places just to joke about. So, how should we advise such people and what is the way to approach such people?
Well, this is a very important question because a lot of us may take religion as something inherited. So why are you Muslim? Because my parents are Muslim. Why are you in Muslim school? Because my parents forced me to go there. If they don't force me, I will go to somewhere else and maybe play around. So this depends on your sincerity. Why are you acquiring knowledge? Is it for the money? Is it for the degree? Is it for the prestige? Or are you doing this to learn what Allah wants from you? Secondly, the more you gain knowledge, the more humility and submissive you are. Submissive to Allah Azza wa Jal, not to the humans. So the more you know, the more you see yourself. Because what you have mentioned can only come from arrogant people. And arrogance is one of the major sins. Arrogance, as the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, no one with an ant's weight of arrogance will be admitted to Jannah. So part of your knowledge is to feel the humility in you. When you talk to people, when you address people, it's like a doctor talking to his patient. The patient is in agony and in pain. How does the doctor deal with him? If the doctor shouts at the patient, "Shut up, you're shouting, you're making me nervous," and maybe hits the patient to shut him up, this is not a real doctor. This guy needs psychiatric help. He's sick himself. But a student of knowledge is recognized by his humility, by his humbleness, by being polite. And when you teach someone who doesn't know, you teach him with respect and dignity, not with arrogance and "you don't know anything, you will go to hell, I'm the only one who's going to paradise." This is unacceptable. And that is why character goes side by side with knowledge. And the more knowledgeable you are, the more purified your character is and perfect. And your best example is the Prophet ﷺ. How did he deal with people who were arrogant or ignorant? A nomad comes to him from behind while the Prophet was wearing a very thick cloak. And he pulls him. Yani, he did not come from front. The Prophet was startled. He pulled him heavily until it made his neck red. It harmed him. And he didn't say, "Oh, please give me this or that." Said, "Muhammad, give me from the money you have. It's not your money. It's Allah's money." Very impolite, very improper. What did the Prophet do, ﷺ? Kill him? No. The Prophet ﷺ smiled and ordered his companions to give him money. This shows you how the Prophet used to treat those who did not know. A man comes, a nomad, in the masjid and urinates. What will you do if you're in the masjid in Medina and nomad comes and lifts up his clothes and starts to urinate? What will you do? You will grab anything and throw it at him maybe. Or the Prophet said, "Leave him. Don't interrupt him. Let him be until he finishes." And then he brought the man and he did not reprimand him. He did not scold him. He said, "My friend or my brother, these places are made for reading the Quran, for prayer and for dhikr, and they're not made to be used in such impurities." So this is how you should be as a student of knowledge. Now, how can I teach myself to be this humble? First of all, you have to make a lot of dua. "Oh Allah, make me in myself small, in the eyes of others large." Secondly, you have to read a lot of the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, of the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, and the seerah of the scholars. Because this is how you upbring yourself. And this is how you purify your character, by learning how they were affected by their knowledge. Thirdly, you have to associate yourself 24/7 with practicing people. Because if you're with arrogant people, you become arrogant. And if you are with sinners, you will become sinful. But when you're with practicing people, people who always choose the best of words to exchange with you, you have friends in school. How do they talk to you? Oh, they're always using bad words, jokes, they backbite teachers. Stay away from those. I know a group of people that, mashallah, always exchange good things and tell me, I read this book, I have this and I have that. These are the people you should associate yourself with, and Allah Azza wa Jalla knows best. This is all the time we have until we meet next time. Fi amanillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Mm-hmm.